ever had your cam show interrupted by Jehovah's Witnesses? I'd been camming for 3 years, built up a solid following of regulars who tipped well and respected boundaries. My setup was professional: ring lights, HD camera, soundproofing foam on the walls. Tuesday afternoons were my most lucrative slots, when lonely office workers needed distraction. That particular Tuesday, I was in the middle of a private show for one of my best clients, a shy accountant who went by Taxman47. We were 40 minutes into our session, and I'd just gotten to the part he'd specifically requested involving a feather boa and some creative storytelling about being stranded on a desert island. Then the doorbell rang. I never answer the door during shows. My apartment building has a strict no soliciting policy, and delivery drivers know to leave packages in the lobby. But this person was persistent. The doorbell rang again, then knocked hard. Just ignore it, Taxman47 typed in the chat, but the knocking continued, getting louder. Hello? We know someone's home, a voice called out. I apologized to Taxman47, threw on my silk robe, and stormed to the door, ready to unleash hell on whoever was interrupting my income. I yanked it open to find 2 women in long skirts holding copies of The Watchtower. Good afternoon. We're here to share an important message about the older one, probably mid-60s with silver hair and a neat bun, stopped mid-sentence. Her eyes went wide, taking in my silk robe, smeared lipstick, and the feather boa still draped around my neck. The younger one, maybe 25, with nervous energy radiating from every pore, clutched her pamphlets tighter. Oh, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt your work, I said flatly. You're interrupting my work. What happened next still makes me laugh. The older woman, who introduced herself as Miriam, asked if I needed help, not in a judgmental way, but with genuine concern. Are you safe, dear? Is someone forcing you to do whatever it is you're doing? Maybe it was the maternal worry in her voice, or maybe I was just thrown off by their complete lack of condemnation, but I found myself explaining. I'm a cam model. It's legitimate work. I pay taxes. I'm saving for nursing school. The younger one, Eliza, perked up. Nursing school? My daughter's in her 2nd year at Riverside Community College. And that's how I ended up having a 20-minute conversation about healthcare education with 2 Jehovah's Witnesses, while Taxman47 waited patiently in my bedroom, probably very confused about the sudden intermission. Miriam shared that she'd been an OB nurse for 30 years before retiring. She gave me advice about which programs had the best clinical rotations. Eliza told me about scholarship opportunities her daughter had found. They never once mentioned religion again. As they were leaving, Miriam paused. I hope this doesn't sound forward, but my church does a monthly community dinner. Everyone's welcome, no sermons, just food and conversation. A lot of healthcare workers attend. Might be good networking for you. I actually went, wore my most conservative outfit, hair in a bun, no makeup. I was terrified someone would recognize me, but Miriam introduced me simply as a future nursing student and spent the evening connecting me with doctors and nurses from the local hospital. 6 months later, I got accepted into nursing school with a partial scholarship. One of those connections helped me secure. I still cam 2 nights a week to cover expenses, but now I study anatomy with a very different purpose. Miriam and Eliza still stop by occasionally. They time their visits for Thursday mornings when they know I'm off work. We drink tea and talk about my classes. They've never asked me to stop camming or join their church. They just check in, bring homemade cookies, and remind me that the community dinner invitation stands. Last week, during a particularly difficult pharmacology exam, I thought about that Tuesday afternoon, how a feather boa and 2 determined missionaries led to the strangest, most supportive friendship of my life. Taxman47 still asks about the nice church ladies who changed his usual Tuesday appointment. I told him they're my career counselors. He tips extra now, says it's for my textbook fund. Sometimes the universe sends help in the most unexpected packages, even if they're carrying the Watchtower.